guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Audrey. If you're returning, welcome back. Today is part 2 of my pantry declutter and minimize, and this is definitely a harder side to tackle for me. I actually was feeling a little bit overwhelmed just because there was just so much stuff in these shelves, and just honestly none of it really made sense to me, and I didn't quite know what I wanted, and I didn't like the way it was. So I wanted to take everything out and wipe things down so that I could start with like a fresh, clean surface and rethink how I wanted to do things. Now, the bottom part of this actually doesn't bother me as much, and I definitely still want to store this stuff here. And so really I just took everything out, and I put some of the things that I don't use all year long, like my little, what are these called? Like snow cones, I guess. We do those during the summertime, so I decided to put those down in storage, but everything on the bottom shelf really went back there because I use this stuff quite often. And honestly, I did not realize how dirty it was, and that mat got just so crinkled up. So it was definitely time to do this. I also wanted to bring things down from the top cabinet because that is what my baking stuff is stored, and I use that stuff more often than I use a lot of this stuff. So I just needed to rethink how I use this, but oftentimes we don't know what we use until we start living in a new house, and then we realize it's not working. So I needed to change things. I had to sweep everything up, and then I wanted to show you guys, look at all these new things that I purchased. Most of this stuff is from Menards and Walmart, but some of it I won't be using. I'll be using this like divider one for my tea, and then some of the smaller bins I'll use in another area. But I bought one for cereal and then some for flour and sugar. I took all the coffee out. That's really only for my mom when she comes to visit. She drinks that coffee, and so I have this cute little basket for the Keurig coffee. And then all of these trays I really don't use as often, just the veggie divider or fruit divider. And then the platters I like to use for special occasions or charcuterie boards, so I stored those in storage as well. Wiped everything down and started to put things back. And honestly, I didn't get rid of too much, but I got rid of boxes and things that were just not making sense because it was taking too much room and there wasn't many things left in it. We have been enjoying tea lately, so I wanted to put my teapot up towards the front, just so it's a little bit easier to get to, and that is the whole purpose. I want things to be easy to find and not crammed in there. So now I think it looks much better, and I like to hide all the cords and just make sure everything looks nice. This I thought would be a good place to keep everything to go. So sometimes Corey needs it for lunch, or I need it for lunch, or not everything is clean and so we have to use plastic. I'll be honest, I don't know where all my spoons went, but I often find that they're all dirty, and instead of having to wash it right away, sometimes I'll use a plastic spoon. So I figured this was cute and an easy way to store all of it. I just put a little rubber band around the spoons, and it kept it a little bit easier to organize. And then I also put the few napkins that we had left in this, and I figured if I ever need to take this outside, like during the summertime, this would be super cute, and it just looks a lot nicer. All of our water bottles and mugs and things, shakers, all went to the back because Corey and I usually use the same like few, but we do like to keep some for different seasons or for different purposes, so I stored them in the back there. And then we had way too much just like stuff, and I tried to use this bin to keep it together. So some of the emergency we like to take every once in a while, and vitamins, and just airborne. And I didn't even know really how to organize this. This isn't necessarily medicine, but it's more like vitamins and things for working out. So I also kept my daughter's EpiPen in there, and this is just an easy grab and go bin as needed. And look at it, that baking shelf. It has no order to it. This is ridiculous. It's kind of even embarrassing to show you guys. It's all piled in there. I couldn't even figure out what was going on. Everything had to come down for me to be able to see what was going on. It's too much stuff. And when it gets time to declutter and clean for me, this stresses me out when it looks decluttered or when it looks too cluttered like that. And so I just wanted to take everything down, see if anything was expired or had gone bad, or if we weren't using it. So I wiped things down, and then I wanted to make like a baking shelf. And so I tried to think of what I use more often, and then I put the things that I don't use as often up at the top. So like all the sprinkles I knew I wanted to keep. I love decorating and doing like cakes and things like that for my kids, and so that's the type of stuff that I wanted to keep at the top part. And then I also wanted to keep like all the oils and things on that Lazy Susan, so that it was still easy to grab and I can twist and turn it without having to get a chair to climb onto it to be able to see what's going on the top shelf. So it is so much better now, and I'm so happy with the way it turned out. This definitely took me forever this night to do because I was not sure where things went. And I honestly didn't even film parts where I just sat there and stared at the shelves. Sometimes you just feel a little bit defeated and you change your mind. I was super excited to get this oil container. I've always thought these look so fancy, so I finally splurged and bought it. It's so funny that it's like things like this that I always want, and they're really not too expensive, but you just kind of forget or you never pick it up from the store. So I finally got one, and it's just for my olive oil. I love it, and I think that it just makes it look so much more like organized. I don't know if you can put any type of oil in here. I've only ever seen olive oil, but let me know. Maybe I should get a bigger one and do like my vegetable oil on it as well. So this just worked out really nice up at the top there, and it looks already so much better. Just looking at this makes me happy that everything just fits nicely on the shelves. The baking shelf, which you guys will see later, I redid that shelf like 5 times. I couldn't even tell you why. I don't know. It just wasn't working for me, and sometimes I have to see it physically, and so it just took a long time. So I poured the flour and the sugar into these big containers, and I'm just so happy with the way it looks. It looks just so much cleaner and neater than those bags. And I'm debating, but I think I might try to label things. So let me know, comment below. Should I label everything, or should I leave it nice, plain, simple, like those clean lines? I really am debating it, so I'd love to hear your input. I have so many places left in the kitchen to declutter. We have just begun this series. This series will have many parts because my house just needs to be gone through every area. And I'm excited to like share that with you guys. So this shelf is designated to all of my baking things. I absolutely love that center clear one that has like my vanilla, my baking soda, baking powder. And then I decided to move over my cake boxes, and I love the way it all turned out. My shelves just don't feel overwhelmingly full now. I didn't even know what food I had before, and that was a problem. So I've been able to really keep up with that left side. If you guys haven't seen my pantry declutter and minimize, like the first video, I will link it, and you guys should go watch that one. That one was definitely satisfying. It was mainly all the food. And this last shelf is for all the cereal, and we always have a ton of choices. We love our cereal, and honestly I've been trying to do a little bit more oatmeal. I like oatmeal cookies as well, so I could buy both the bin and the instant packs. And then we have been buying bags instead of boxes, which is kind of nice. And then I just filled both the chocolate checks, or the chocolate cinnamon crunch, I think it's what it's called, that my girls eat and Corey eats, and then the Fruit Loops they eat. I honestly don't eat very much cereal, like ever. It's just not my go-to. Usually I'm more of like a muffin or donuts, coffee, a bar in the morning. I don't really eat cereal as often, but I do like it every once in a while as a little treat. So I love the way those clear bins look, and I'm wondering if I should buy more and just have all my cereal in those bins. But here's the way it turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me, what was your favorite part of this pantry declutter and minimize? And tell me what you guys are excited for me to declutter and minimize in my house. I would love to hear from you. If you're new to my channel, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. And I am so excited to bring you these videos every Thursday. I plan to bring you cleaning videos. If it's not Thursday, it will for sure be Fridays. Some of my weeks get super busy. But I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.